Hi there, I'm Jeff Hastings and welcome once again to SLJ.com. How would you like to take advantage of all of the time that your students spend connected to mobile devices? Start moving your library's digital resources onto those platforms. Well, if you want to get your feet wet doing that, Gale Cengage makes it really easy. They've got an app for that, and it's called AccessMyLibrary School Edition. It's an app that lets students access all of your school library's Gale resources through an app. Right now it's an iPhone-only app, so you can access it on iPads like this one I have with me today, or iPhones or iPod Touches. But Gale tells me, if you're a Droid fan, that they're working on a Droid app currently and it will be available quote-unquote soon. So, promising things for Droid lovers too. The first thing I want to do is show you the app up close, and I'm going to do that by showing you what a student does to set himself or herself up with AccessMyLibrary. The first step for students is simply to visit their app store on their device, and I just searched under AccessMyLibrary, and all of the Gale Cengage AccessMyLibrary versions came up. They make them for colleges, they make them for public libraries, and they make them for schools. Here's the school one, and elect to install it. The first time the student opens the AccessMyLibrary app, they're given a state-by-state list. I noticed there are some provinces listed as well if you're in Canada. Here's my home state, and there are tons of schools listed. Here's my school library. It's an alphabetical list. Highlander Way Middle School Library, that's me. So I'll select that one, and then it just asks the student to verify that this is their school. Here it is, confirm the address, access the library, and then you're being prompted for a one-time use password, so you only have to authenticate once. I'll enter our password, which is very simple. I'm done. And I can go and access my library. The cool thing about this is I can access my databases, and they'll be all listed. I can also visit my website, or you can send an email, in this case, to me. So if a student's having a problem with the database or needs to ask you with the databases or needs to ask you a question, they can send you mail. Access your school's databases and you'll see a full selection of all of your Gale products that you subscribe to. We have tons of them, partially because our state library here in Michigan provides access for all of the state's citizens. We don't use all of these products. We use a lot of them though. Here's one we use a lot here in middle school, is Junior Edition. And if we access that database using the app, you'll see that it looks a lot like it does if you accessed it through a conventional web browser. This mobile device, this iPad, gives me pinch zoom access too, which is nice, especially if you're on a smaller device. It's nice to be able to put things where you want them and resize them. And I can search my database just like I would search on a conventional website. I know that was just a brief look at how a student would set up and get started using AccessMyLibrary School Edition. But as you can see, I hope, it's a really, really quick process. It's about 3 steps for them and takes literally seconds to do. Equally easy, if you're interested, is getting started for school librarians. If you're interested at all in AccessMyLibrary School Edition, just call this number. That's the number for the tech support staff at AccessMyLibrary. They'll make sure that your library account is set up properly. Now, as I said, your library, if you're an existing Gale customer, may already be set up, listed in the proper state and province, and ready to roll. My library wasn't. The problem with my library was it was listed 3 times. So the staff helped me pare the listing down to 1 listing, make sure the address was correct, make sure that the password was correct, make sure that we had the right URL to link back to, and that was pretty much it. We were good to go. Once the app was up and running properly, all that was left to do was promote it, and Gale even makes that super easy. They've done such a good job with this. Let me give you this web address. This is the address where librarians can go and order free promotional materials for AccessMyLibrary services. So once you get to the point where you're promoting the service, it's super easy. I don't know what you can see here, but you can go on this site and order Access My Library posters and bookmarks in the quantities you specify. They'll ship them right to you. They've also got QR codes. I've enlarged those and stuck them all over my library. They've got banners that you can stick to your library website or blog, and they'll link your students to more information and right to the App Store to download the app. Great stuff from Access My Library School Edition from Gale, Cengage. My name's Jeff Hastings. Thank you for visiting me on slj.com.